Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from Rogue. This is Dead Guy Whiskey, Cabernet Wine Cask Finished American Single Malt Whiskey, coming in at a 46% ABV. Now for full disclosure, I reached out to Rogue for a review sample. They were kind enough to send this over for us to take a look at and a review, so just keeping that transparency open. Now, Rogue themselves are based out of Newport, Oregon, where they've been in the brewery side of things since 1988 and been distilling since 2003. And I gotta share their history with you because it actually tells a story about the whiskey itself. So during the time period of looking for a place to open up one of the brew pubs, one of the owners ended up in Newport, Oregon, where he actually got pulled over because of a rainstorm and had to grab a bite to eat anyways. The owner came up to him and goes, hey, what brings you to the area kind of thing. He's like, well, kind of looking for a place to open up a brew pub and kind of get my roots started somewhere. And she's like, hey, great news. I have buildings. I own places. And he's like, oh, well, that's ironic timing because I'm definitely looking for something. She goes, but I have two rules. Rule number one, feed the fishermen, which essentially says give back to the community. Newport itself is a pretty tight-knit community where they are thriving off of the fishermen. A lot of people out there doing that kind of work. And rule number two, you have to have a picture of me naked on your back bar. And obviously he goes, I'm in. And still to today, they adhere to those two rules, giving back to the community and the portrait of the woman behind the counter. Now, the story of the spirit itself, again, comes from the community. A local Mexican restaurant was looking to do something special and kind of have a good time with an upcoming event. And they go, hey, can you guys do a spirit for us? And they go, yeah, sure, we could do that. So in commemoration of the event, they called it Dead Guy Whiskey. And it turned out to be a huge hit. So they decided to keep it around, which leads us into what we have here in front of us. Essentially what Rogue is doing, they are aging, distilling, bottling it themselves. The rick house is actually located only a few yards away from the ocean. That's why they're calling it ocean aged. Think of it kind of like Scotland or Ireland, where you have some of those rick houses go really close to the water. And up until more recently, they actually coopered their own barrels, which is phenomenal to hear. There's only one other place in the United States that does that. That might be coming back down the road as more of a pet project, so keep touch for that. We might see that change back up. Now, when it comes to the mash bill, they're actually using their own two-row malted barley from the brewer house. They're just upping the kind of yeast in there so it increases the amount of alcohol. And the wine cask they're using on this comes from like a couple hours away. So they're sourcing local wine barrels for this finishing on there. So let's hop into the bottle itself and see how a single malt whiskey plays with a Cabernet cask. I will point this out till I'm blue in the face. These bottles are gorgeous. Got the inlay in the back here, ocean aged on the front. These are all actually hand labeled by them still to today. And while there's no current age statement on the bottlings, here in the near future, they are moving to age statement versions as well. So as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit, become a member if you'd like. If you're interested in some other reviews over Rogue Spirits, links to those videos will be up above and down below, along with a link to their website so you can check them out for yourself, order bottles that haven't shipped directly to you if they ship to your area, or just keep a hunt out for them. Love the topper on here. How cool is that? And it's weighty too. It's got a good heft to it. Look at that color. That has got a beautiful dark amber, almost like a dark rum color. A little red tinge to it. Beautiful. Alrighty, let's go for notes. Wow, okay, first of all, that nose is gorgeous. I just gotta put that on the page here. And I forgot to mention this, but the wine barrels themselves are like freshly dumped wine barrels. Like they get them within the next day or so. So they're still like ready to rock barrels. And that nose instantly reminded me of that because you get these dark kind of plummy fig and rich kind of like raisins going on. And the funny thing is, because of the barley has interwoven itself into that wine cask, I'm getting almost like a dark chocolate covered raisin, like a gourmet. Like I went to the store, a candy confectionery place, and got their dark chocolate covered raisins. A little malty, sweet, but the fruit layers in here are phenomenal. Like it is rich, but not too rich. It's got a beautiful sweet undercoating in here, a little bit of oakiness, light bit of char. There's a sweet sugary note, almost like a charred molasses. Yeah, like a dark molasses. Oh man. Velvety, almost dessert-like. A little bit of leather, maybe a dash of tobacco going on in here, like smoking pipe tobacco. The complexities this one is bringing is gorgeous. This is like an after-dinner whiskey on the nose. I'm really hoping that taste brings it across as well, but that nose already, I am a huge fan of it. Wine casks can go one way or the other for me, and so far, top notch on this. Alrighty, let's go for a taste. Wow, okay. There's just so much going on that sip that the barley plays its part, bringing a lot of the sweet grains, little waxiness, little spice. The barrels themselves have a light char element to it. And because of their climate, they're not going to have a big, oaky, bold, charry layer that a lot of your Kentucky or Indiana or anywhere down south is going to have, because their temperatures just don't get that big variant. But you get this gorgeous fruitiness throughout the beginning to middle to end. A little bit of clove, pinch of spice in there. Wow. That is one of the best, if not the best, wine cask finished whiskey I've had. The King's Estate wine barrel is just rich, and it's got this dark complexity going on in here. And it pairs so well with their malt that it becomes almost like a chocolate covered raisin and decadent fruits. Like I'm picturing this kind of like a fruit charcuterie board kind of idea. You have your fruits, dark fig, plum, raisins. You got a little cup of dark chocolate, milk chocolate, where you can just have a little dip of different things going on in here. The cask itself not only brings that light bit of chariness, but a sweeter, creamier vanilla concept to things as well, with just the smallest bit of homemade caramel in there too. The cling on the palate is beautiful, still no ABV, nothing harsh, no off notes, but you're left with this light bit of dark fruit and malty chocolate. It's rich and complex and just everything I wanted when I seen wine cask finished on the label to come in my glass itself today. That is great. Alrighty, well, now that I've sung its praises, let's talk about a grade for this one. Boy, that is a great bottle. Typical pricing on it's about $89 to $90. And when you have a craft distillery, aging, distilling, bottling it themselves, sourcing King's Estate Cabernet wine casks to finish this in, it's phenomenal. And I'll say it again, this is one of the best, if not the best, wine cask finished whiskey I have. Phenomenal. I gotta give that a solid A. I think that the profile of the barley plus that wine cask finish is a beautiful marriage of two different flavors that comes together in a way that I did not expect. I was expecting a good finish here, but the profile they're able to bring across in here, big thumbs up. Highly recommend picking this up. If you are not a big wine cask finish person, in my opinion, that one's going to change your mind. I'm in love with that one. And again, if you're interested in learning more about Rogue, a link to their website will be down in the description area below. Just show them some love. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Rogue Dead Guy Whiskey, Cabernet wine cask finished American single malt whiskey. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirits I should go looking for, also let me know down below. Love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, and I really like it might